Hello, hello. Welcome to Divine Honey Podcast. I'm your friend, your host, Tamika Johnson. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This show is about human experiences. This includes thought provoking conversations and, most importantly, our Divine Honey guests sharing stories about love, life, journey, and purpose. If you're watching live or on the replay and you feel inspired, show some love in the chats. Questions, comments are encouraged. I hope you guys are doing good and I hope you're able to get on. Like I had an error. I'm going to look now and see if it's streaming right now. It says we're live now. Okay, there we go. We are on. Sorry for the malfunctions. Greeting. Welcome, friends and family. It's been a while since I last been on. It's been quite a bit since the middle of the summer. The last guest we had on was Bridget, and she talked about her healing journey. Go back and watch that video. It's about health, her recovery of her health journey, parasites, good information. So check out that last podcast. So today I'm solo. It's a solo podcast. So just say what's up in the chat. Um, it is officially now fall. Summer did end, and I hope everyone had a good summer. You can just let me know what was your highlights for the summer. Mine kicked off with a bang. Went to Miami with some friends for my friend's bachelorette party. Spent time in Iowa. My cousin Michaela graduated from high school. Visit my dad, my sister, my grandma. So that was amazing. I moved this summer. And a shout out to my tribe. It's a group of women that I met in group therapy. And we did a thing called 90 Days of Balance. And in that, we stayed connected and we've been a great support system. So this summer, we all went to the lake and did a pontoon ride. So that was fun. And kind of to round out my summer, I went to see Beyonce. I went to the Renaissance concert literally a month ago today. I went. So that's why I have my little headgear to kind of represent. It was a fun experience, and that kind of just ended the summer for me because, child, I was tired. Because as some of y'all know, I run these streets. I'm here and there, but now it's time to kind of refocus. Um, we are in a new season. This is quarter four, the fall, the end of the year, and for some of us, it's a season for rest. For some of us, it's a season for movement. And as I did a post on TikTok and on my social media. It's the Sunday message. It's, is it time for rest or is it time to move? Are we resting because we're afraid to move, or are we moving because we're afraid of rest? For those of you who are resting, what are you doing in this resting period? Sometimes when we're in a resting period, really all we have is maybe the bare minimum. But I encourage you not to stay there too long, because sometimes we get so comfortable, we don't even realize that we've graduated from the best we can to push forward. And in that resting period, again, I asked, what are you doing? Are you resting? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you staying hydrated? Are you praying? Are you meditating? So it's very important what you're doing in that resting period. And for those of you who are moving, what's keeping you motivated? Give us some tips also of what's keeping you motivated, what's keeping you focused, what's keeping you disciplined. Now there's some of us that we know we're supposed to be moving and we're not. We're simply not, and we're stuck. And are you to the point where you want to give up, especially because we're headed towards the end of the year, and it's just easy to say, oh, the holidays are coming. I'll deal with whatever my personal goals were in 2024. But I encourage you not to give up. If you know it's time to put in that work in any area that you want to see growth or prosperity, you can't wait for comfort and you can't wait till you feel like it. You definitely can't wait to 2024 because we are not promised 2024. We're not even promised, we're not promised tomorrow. Only thing we're promised is the moment we have right now, and that is today. Today is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Shout out to Living Word Bible Church. That's kind of what they say at the end of their sermons, and that's always stuck with me. So we all had our vision or our New Year's resolution when we started out 2023. And now that we're getting to the end of the year, we might not have touched any of it. We might have done partial, and we're probably beating up on ourselves, right? I get it. But why are we stuck? Has the vision changed? We can change our mind. I'm sure we've had things happen from January to September that has shaped our lives, changed our lives, had some revelation about who we are and what we want. It's okay to say, I don't want to do that anymore, and that's just not my goal. Sometimes we like to call it giving up. That's giving up or not completing a task. Sometimes it's simply just a change in vision. Another thing is fear. We can have fear of failure and we can have fear of success. Fear will never go away. There's a book that I was reading last year with my girls. We have a book club. Right now, we're actually reading T.D. Jakes' Destructive Thinking. But once I finish that, then I will probably talk about that. But we did finish Joyce Meyer, Do It Afraid, and the things that this woman had went through. She is not supposed to be statistically who she is today. And there was fear. For this to be a strong-willed woman, there was still fear. And so it's a great book. The book, I will put in the link. And it made me think of when I went to Cabo on my 39th birthday. I'm zip lining. I had no issues because I could see where I was going. I could see the end result. At the end, we had to scale a wall. I was terrified. I couldn't see over. I had to trust someone. I had to get strapped in and in a harness, and a guy had to push me backwards so I can't see, and he kind of had to drop me a little so I could go down. I decided to go last. What do they say? The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So nothing made me feel good about going down that mountain or that wall. There was nothing. I had to trust and I had to do it afraid. Once I did the drop and I kind of start going and I could see where I was going, I wasn't afraid, but I had to do it afraid and I had to trust. Even doing this podcast, it's scary. It's scary, especially now I'm doing some of the solo ones. You don't know how you're going to be perceived. You don't know if people will like your content. There's criticism that comes with it, and there's also great feedback. So every time I click this button, I'm always nervous, but I do it afraid. Also, there's imposter syndrome. We face a lot of that in the workplace too, thinking we're not smart enough, we're not good enough. You're good as anybody. If you're in that room, you're supposed to be there. So that self-doubt of intellect and your skills and your accomplishment. We tend to downplay our accomplishments. We have been taught not to take compliments and to humble ourselves. No one needs to humble you on your greatness. You are great. I learned a lot I'm a part of an organization called the Phoenix LLC, the local organizing committee here in Phoenix, Arizona. And Brother Trimika said something really important to me. During 2020, when everything was going on with COVID and everything that was going on with George Floyd, I was just passionate like everybody else. I went and marched like by myself. I was that passionate. I saw this group speak on Facebook and I joined. I ultimately ended up being in some type of leadership, which that's not my comfort zone. I was uncomfortable. I was doing it afraid, and and I didn't always do it perfectly, but I did not give myself enough credit. Something I learned from Brother Chemikas was, and the thing I admire about him, he's so well spoken and he can be in any space. And he told me, you have the intellect to study and learn. He goes, you can learn and you can speak on any topic and you can be in any space. And I remember that about him. And that's what I admire and I appreciate about him. So you're supposed to be in that space. Distraction, is that keeping you from your goal? Are people distracting you? Are places distracting you? And are things distracting you? Are you around the right people? Are you around the right company? Where do you go? Where do you spend your time at? Things. We have social media. I'm a victim of it. I It can take up your time. It consumes us. Everything is little clips for us now. And they even have different things like I have a digital timer telling me I need to get off of social media. Just another thing to distract us. So people, places, or things. Is it an obedience or discipline problem? I won't say problem. Is it obedience and discipline is the issue? What have you been called to do? And what have you been called to let go to achieve it? It is hard to let go of the past. It is hard to let go of people. It is hard to let go of bad behavior. And sometimes we're just comfortable there, but we're tormented because we are destined and for more. God has put something in our hearts and you want to let it go, right? You want to be like, okay, I'm just not going to do nothing, but you can't. Some of us have interpersonal things that need to be healed before we can even think about anything else. We have things that we need to fix and touch in ourselves, whatever we need to do. So we have a spiritual journey we must go on first that takes priority. We have childhood trauma that takes priority as well. So I challenge you to take a deep dive in what's causing you not to move and what's causing you to give up on your 2023 vision. Because what you have for 2023 and what you're touching is going to bear fruit. It might bear fruit in 2023, but it might bear fruit later. So we have to not give up and take those steps. Even if it's a small step, we have to touch what's been called on us to touch. And we have to stretch ourselves. We can't get stuck there. Like, for example, like I know people are doing some amazing things, like writing books. Now, at first, to have that discipline, they probably had to start out 30 minutes a day of straight writing. Or I'm going to write, but you have to keep pushing yourself and stretching yourself. You can't stay at that 30 minutes. It is very hard. Sometimes to break those habits. So if you fail on Monday, pick it back up on Tuesday. Outside of our personal goals, there are people dealing with things such as heartache, grief, illness, physically and mentally. So I'm personally sending prayers and encouragement for them not to give up. It can be hard, it can be very hard. And I encourage you guys to send prayers for them to be covered and remain covered, and they will conquer and to help each other. I know that your cup has to be full in order to help someone, to pour into somebody else. But there's a lot of us that have our cups full in certain areas, and we can't keep the well to ourselves because I think we're really here to help each other. Or I even wouldn't even be on here. So if you guys need to recalibrate for your vision, your 2023 vision, I I will put in the chat again because you guys, I had to start a different stream. So it's not the original stream that I had put out because there was some error, but I rebuked the devil. I was praying over this before I got on here that like I would be able to convey what I needed to say, or I was saying the right things. I was praying hard before this. And right when I clicked live, It aired out. Not gonna get, and I get nervous when that happens. When things don't go right, you get scared and nervous. I said, not today. Whoever's, even if people miss the live, they can catch the re-record. So I'm going to put in there, there's a digital vision board. My sister-in-law actually put me onto this, and I save it on my phone. You might have new goals. Remember, it's okay to change your vision, but you still got to touch it. Don't wait till 2024. And I'm going to put the link to Joyce Meyer, Do It Afraid. I know some of us are tired, and we're tired of trying, but you don't give up. I'm gonna take a look in the chat because I see who Tim, that's my brother. How are you? He said help is on the way. And Shay, yes, not today. So I hope if y'all missed the first part of what I was talking about, I said not today. I'm still gonna keep going. And I appreciate you guys just being on here and like supporting me. But sometimes this isn't easy to do. And this isn't even easy to do by myself. Sometimes I don't have the guests that I would like, but I'm going to have them. Nope, I'm not going to say I'm going to have them in 2024. I'm going to have them now. And sometimes I'm not sure of what things interest you guys. So I really appreciate your support, and I hope you guys go back and watch the replay. And yeah, so yes. So then also, I'm on TikTok, right? Please follow me on TikTok. I want to go live on TikTok, but you need 1,000 people. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Also, you can listen to this Divine Honey podcast on Apple Podcasts, and you can listen to it on Spotify. So again, I love you guys. And yeah, just tune in to the replay at the beginning part. And I apologize again for the technical difficulties. And you guys have a great Sunday. And I love you. Oh, my little Kingling said I did a great job. Thank you, Kingston. Love you all and hope you have a good Sunday. And again, please do not give up. If it's in your heart, it's what you're supposed to be doing. And any space that you are in, you're supposed to be there. Love you guys. Bye.